Welcome to the Assist Podcast. I'm your host, Zach Schwartz, and joining me today is the only former Division I athlete that I know, now a wonderful pre-med student, is Demani Barnes. Mr. Barnes, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing fine. How are you?
Not too bad. Just a great night here to talk about some of the NFL draft, all this stuff.
Yes.
Players you used to be with and now no longer.
Yeah, unfortunately.
So, Demani, tell the people a little bit about yourself.
So, my name is Demani Barnes. I'm from Tallahassee, Florida. I'm a senior here at the University of Central Florida, majoring in sports and exercise science, pre-med, trying to get that BS degree. Go to medical school. I want to be an orthopedic surgeon, possibly specialize in sports medicine and, give back to the football community somehow,
It's very noble.
Very noble.
Very awesome of you. Obviously, you were on the UCF team before you had a serious injury.
Yeah.
So that makes you qualified enough to be an assist expert on the NFL.
That's not true.
No, that's what this is. So we've been going over the NFL Combine was this week, of course. Everyone running around in their underwear and stuff like that. Which, speaking of which, did you see on Twitter the video popped up again of there was the defensive lineman a couple years ago where his junk fell out when he was running the 40-yard dash.
Shout out to Under Armour in there. Their fits, their dry fits, and the girdles that, supposedly supposed to keep everything in there. But yeah, shout out to them.
It's true. So, first thing I want to talk about has been someone who's been in the news a lot. It is the defending Heisman Trophy winner Kyler Murray, a quarterback out of Oklahoma. He made headlines at the Combine when he weighed in at 5'10", quelling some concerns about his height and weight, which I also think if you're at this Combine, you're looking like, oh man, this guy's an inch taller than I thought. I don't know. You can probably speak more to this than I can. I was like, does that really matter? Does the Combine even matter?
Yes.
Okay.
Because there has, just like any, I guess in the relations of what we do, we take assessments, take exams, we study, do homework, and we have to show that we know the material.
Yes.
You work out, you invest into your body, and you have to show that, you can produce athletically, like vertical jump, sprints, bench press. It has to be an assessment for everything because you got to separate, the good from the great and the worst and stuff like that. So, but as far as Kyler Murray and his height and, I guess wherever he lands in the NFL, it has to be shotgun. But still, at the same time, if he joins any league that runs out of shotgun that has good receivers or anything like that, I feel like their receptions are gonna go down just because Kyler Murray is an athlete.
He's fast. Yeah, he's very fast.
Very fast. So I guess any offense that loves the Wildcat style, I don't know. When I think of Kyler Murray, I think of a Georgia Tech quarterback.
Yeah, he's dynamic. Yeah.
So, but I would love to see how he adjusting, the NFL when it comes to looking and seeing the field.
Yeah, because I think the presumptive number one quarterback right now is Dwayne Haskins from Ohio State. That's what I've seen. So it's just kind of interesting because Murray obviously had the $5 million offer to play baseball with the Oakland Athletics, and we saw a couple $300 million contracts this past couple of weeks in baseball. That's insane. But it's obviously he's playing football. He's in the NFL draft. The Cardinals at number one have been rumored, possibly, even though they took Josh Rosen last year, which, there's been some drama there. The Giants and Jaguars both want quarterbacks. Dolphins are in the mix, of course, as well. So it'll be interesting to kind of see where he ends up, because I agree with you. Wherever he goes, he needs to be in a shotgun system and be able, because he's, not because he needs to be because of his size, but just because he's that dynamic.
Just the logistics of it. You have a 5'10" quarterback coming out of, I formation. They're trying to do a 3-step drop and look down the field for somebody who's 6'8". Yeah, he's going to be running all the time. And just from personal experience, people I played with, the short quarterbacks that I had.
Yeah.
Like, it's a real adjustment. Like, it kind of throws your game off in a sense because now I went from doing deep post receptions to maybe doing screens now. And,
Yeah.
you know.
As you as a former wide receiver, you know that
it's
exactly.
a make or break sometimes. And, like, you can't get mad all the time at the quarterback if he doesn't see you because, like, you know, there's a physical incapability that he has. But, you know, he always has something, being fast and, you know, athletic that makes up for it. So,
it's developing that rapport with your receivers.
But if you can identify some chemistry, like if he can, you know, work some chemistry always, that's always good.
So, yeah, you talk about chemistry. There's a lot of rumors with the Cardinals at the number 1 overall selection with Cliff Kingsbury possibly being able to run a system with Kyler Murray at the quarterback. That's a big rumor. So if Murray goes to the Dolphins, he might as well just quit. Yeah. I mean, he might as well take the baseball contract.
What?
They'll be like, all right, you'll play in the I formation and stuff. And
I mean, I don't know. What are your thoughts on football over baseball in terms of, like, if you were in Kyler Murray's shoes, how do you make that judgment? Like, I really believe him in the sense of, like, he really wanted to play football. Because knowing me, if I was in the same situation that he was in, no matter how much I loved football, I would have started playing baseball first. And probably would have just tried to finagle my way into, like, playing in the NFL.
Yeah.
Because I would have had the money to do so.
Right. So I haven't played football since I was maybe 10.
Yeah.
And this larger running back ran me over as a cornerback. And I looked up at my dad and I said, Dad, I'm seeing a couple stars or something like that. And my dad said, all right, you're playing soccer now. True story. And I was terrible at baseball. So from my perspective, I can get, because obviously, like I said, I mean, we had Bryce Harper just sign a 13-year, $330 million contract. So in 2032, he will still be on this team and making $25 million. That's insane because no other league does that. The flip side of that is that if you looked at the 4 sports, and this is in America, of course, because in Europe it's completely different.
Correct.
In America, the coolest thing, no matter what level you look at, no matter what pop culture thing you look at, it's the stereotype, right? The coolest thing is to be the quarterback. And that's even driven now a lot by the fact that the NFL is NBA is giving it a run for its money.
Correct.
But once again, 5'10", never playing the NBA. Compared to baseball has been really going downhill in terms of audience of people of Kyler's generation. Not just audience in general, but people that Kyler sees as his peers. And, I mean, really, it's also us. I mean, we're only a couple of years removed from his age. So it's the same kind of deal where it's like, a lot of times he must be growing up, and he's like, the quarterback is the coolest thing. In terms of money, yeah, obviously it's not the safest bet. In terms of him getting injured because he's small, yeah, it's not the safest bet, even though it's the NFL is probably the safest it's been ever in terms of rule changes for quarterbacks.
Yeah.
And honestly, he probably didn't want to play in the minor leagues. I mean, if he goes in right now, he's going to get, I'm not sure how much, depends where he gets picked, but could be in the range, from $30 million to as much as 15 or something like that. So I think it's more of the social aspect that matters to him than the money. Because if you're smart with the money, this money should last you all your life.
Correct.
If you're smart. If you hand me $1 million check, I mean, I think I could try to figure that out with investments right now. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. I'm not buying a fancy car yet.
Not yet. Not just yet.
So I wonder, and of course there's probably family dynamics that, like you're saying, we can't really speak to.
Correct.
So that's my guess, is that it has to be some societal impact, right? I know you have a different take.
Yes, but at the same time, like I said, you have to have a plan, first of all. You have to know if what you're doing is making you happy or not, not just for the cultural acceptance. Yeah. Because I feel like the long-term happiness is really key. Like, yeah, I might get more notoriety of playing football, but, am I really happy? Is it really worth it? Was it worth the sacrifice? Because, like, when you, especially playing a sport like the NFL and football, like, you're gambling a lot when it comes to your health. Obviously. Certainly. So that was solely on him, his decision to choose football over baseball. I hope I would think so. I feel like that's not a decision that anybody can make
Right.
for me. So.
I agree. Yeah. Do you think he'll be a success?
Honestly, I think he's gonna start off as a quarterback and probably convert to like a slot receiver or so.
Okay.
Because,
he has the quickness.
Yeah, I mean, he just reminds me of Tavon Austin in a sense, but we don't know how his hands are either. So we'll
Good point.
see.
Yeah.
Bro, what was his position in baseball?
I think he was a shortstop.
Yeah, well,
he
might have that reaction time to catch a football. Then honestly, it just depends because I know like it just I don't know. Like I said, with him being 5'10", it's just there's only so much they can do.
Yeah.
But no, don't get me wrong. An athlete's an athlete. He'll make it happen.
Right.
For any team.
Yeah, I think it'll take the right system, of course. I think him, ironically, going to Arizona might be good. I joked about him going to Miami and just beating trash. It just seems like Miami never has a plan. I mean, so I don't really know what would be best from what coach. It's just you have to build your system around him, recognizing that he's a dynamic talent, and it just depends on if people are going to do that or not. So, hope he does well.
I hope so as well. I mean,
he'll give a team more hope than Detroit has with Matthew Stafford right now. Goodness gracious. Yeah. Goodness gracious. So,
but before we get off this topic, I recall that you said you was going to punch a wall for Kyler Murray.
Do you mean for Justin Fields?
God dog it. What about for Kyler Murray, though?
No, Kyler's fine.
All right.
Unless he goes to, like, the Packers or something, then we have an issue with him. All my rival teams keep getting better. The Packers have 2 first-round picks. Who knows? They could probably do it. Yeah, whatever.
We'll see.
Punching walls. Ohio State's too good. Speaking of Ohio State, they have the presumptive number 1 pick, or they did. Nick Bosa. Yeah. It's a very defense-heavy draft this year, it seems like.
I mean, yeah, they got to fill in the gaps. And obviously the teams are scouting. They know what other teams need. So the priorities are there. Just know that. It's
just interesting that a lot of these guys are really extremely athletic. You know, defensive guys are near the top. We're talking names like Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams, who is the Alabama defensive tackle, just a monster. Josh Allen from Kentucky, who I would really like the Lions to pick. Devin White, Rashawn Gary from Michigan, Greedy Williams, who the Lions emphatically said they won't take, which is hilarious. You just have all these defensive guys. Do you have a favorite out of them?
I mean, they all have similar traits. I don't know if you realize that. So
they're all very athletic. Yeah, and that's what's crazy nowadays.
No, I don't really have a preference because I know they all fit in that same category. I know I could probably still get the job done with some good coaching. Yeah. So, and if they're definitely coachable, like honestly, it really doesn't matter. Like if they're coachable, they'll definitely listen and produce. So. I hate to be that person, but
no, I mean it's fair.
Like that.
A lot of NFL success is getting into that system that is correct.
Tom Brady
for the player. You think Tom Brady's a system quarterback?
Nah, I just think he's a great analogy of just being coachable.
Yeah, I mean whatever system allows you to kiss your kids.
I wasn't ready for that. On the cheek, right?
I don't know where he kissed him. Mate would have a larger opinion about that.
At least he's not hitting his calves. Let's just say that. But
he's not shy, that's for sure. I wanted to talk about DK Metcalf, the wide receiver from Ole Miss.
Yes.
He is. What'd you say he weighed in? He weighed in today, didn't he, or a couple days ago?
I'm not accurate, so don't quote me on that. But I know it had to be at least 225 or so. But he was very heavy.
And 6'3".
At 6'3".
1.6% body fat. How is that even possible? This man literally looks like the Hulk.
I mean, so with me having a high interest in nutrition.
Yes, I was saying you could actually tell me this.
Obviously, it is possible. It takes like it definitely takes a commitment of diet and like years worth of work ethics. A strategic workout plan and a great dietary practice. Like it's definitely feasible, but I also have to say that there has to be some genetics in it.
Oh yeah,
because I know I had a teammate. His name's Tim Faison. He plays for North Texas.
Okay.
And that dude was just always had low % body fat. Jeez. Had the worst diet ever. But
really? Didn't matter?
Yeah, but every time we had to do our I guess, how we do off-season workouts. At the end, you do it before and after. He would still be always at least under 2% of body fat. And he ate unhealthy, party, drink, still low body fat percentage. So, I mean, like I said, obviously it's attainable, definitely feasible for what he does. And then, like, you got to think these athletes, they work out. They have this dietary practice plan that they have to use, obviously, because, they're on scholarship and stuff. So, like, if I gave you that, I'm pretty sure you could beef up too,
Well, I don't know how much I'd be able to beef up.
Basically your genetic, genetic makeup. Me and my friend was talking about the genetic threshold when it comes to, like, beefing up and stuff. And, like, there's always this threshold that you could surpass. But obviously, if you have, like, not the, I guess, favorable, muscle outline and stuff like that, then obviously, you're not going to be the best looking bodybuilder. But, you'll have muscles and stuff. So it's always that.
I know my dad did a 23andMe, and they tell you your muscle makeup. And so he has the muscle makeup of a power athlete. Okay. And I said, okay, but why aren't you a power athlete then? Why are you just a businessman?
He never invested in it,
I guess not. He's playing all these sports and never got big. Come on. What's the average body fat of a person? Do you know off the top of your head?
It honestly, it varies.
What do you think mine is? Just looking at me.
Just looking at you, probably no more than maximum of 18% body fat.
18?
Yeah, it depends.
So if we have an ice age, I'm covered. I'm pretty good. I got some nice blubber.
I only said that because you're recovering from an injury, so I know you've been sedentary. So
I should be at 15?
Yeah, maybe 15 active.
Okay.
Depends. So, it really adds up. There's adipose tissue that stores in the abdominal region.
I don't know if I can hear this, but it's right here. Yeah, I got
there's definitely fat thighs. There's factors to it, but
all right, off topic. And this Metcalf guy, he ran a 4.3.
Yeah,
which is insane.
I don't see. That's the thing that scares. Like, me and my brother always says that because I think Sammy Watkins was like the first real true athlete who was just like, whoa. This guy's
he was really fast too, right?
He's like over 6'2", and weighs over 220 plus pounds, and he's running that fast. Yeah. It's very scary. As a cornerback or a safety.
Oh yeah.
I'm definitely clipping. I'm not going head on with that. That's a no-brainer.
And I know there was a tight end from Iowa too, Noah Fant. I saw ran a 4.5. A tight end running a 4.5.
Let's just say he didn't start off as a tight end. He probably was a receiver.
Well, yeah, certainly.
He probably gained a bunch of weight when he, did his first year at college, and they was like, yeah, you're big enough to play tight end, and if you want to get to the, playing time, you have to play tight end. So he probably just went with it, honestly.
A funny thing about Iowa is that they have him, Fant, and then T.J. Hawkinson, both supposed to go in the first round. 2 tight ends. And it's like, okay, such an Iowa thing.
Honestly, I would prefer a consistent tight end, average speed, but consistent hands. Because when it's always that third and long, or that, you need that, I don't know, that moon route across the middle to, solidify that touchdown. Like, they can be fast and all, but if they don't have the hands, then it's a waste.
How do you feel about Jason Witten coming out of retirement to play for the Cowboys?
I mean,
could you believe that? I saw them like, this is a fake.
I was just like, I don't know. He might be bored or might be in some financial crisis.
He was on the Monday Night Football. He was terrible.
Yeah, he might be bored, like I said, or he might have some financial crisis. Ain't no way I'm coming out of retirement.
He didn't get his bonus from ESPN. So like, dude, you were so bad on Monday night.
Like, nah. But on the contrary, Tony Romo,
he's great.
Best. He knows it all.
He should be the Chiefs' defensive coordinator.
He really should consider coaching. Like,
I know.
Let's be honest.
Maybe in a couple of years, he definitely will.
Possibly, we'll see.
So yeah. What was I gonna say? Is there any team you see here with this draft order that can that really needs to make big key addition to start pushing for a big transition, such as maybe the Cleveland Browns down there at number 17?
Well, I'm gonna get this off my chest.
All right, get it off your chest.
So I'm not gonna lie, every other season I'd have great expectations for the New York Giants because they're always recruiting outstanding, defensive backs. So making the right, investing in the right people.
Landon Collins is a good example.
But when they don't produce, it just gives your hopes up, and it ruins all expectations of next season.
Both the New York teams suck.
Yeah, honestly, which is really sad. So, I don't know if there's a coaching issue in that, or is it just like...
I think it's Eli Manning is all of a sudden 37 or 6. And
oh, man. I mean, yeah, you're right.
They've been slotted to take Haskins from Ohio State.
Honest.
Which, I mean...
Like, what do they need?
Quarterback.
Dang.
Saquon won me a fantasy football championship, so that's not an issue.
That's true. What about Bell at running back?
Le'Veon Bell?
Yeah.
I've seen that he might go to the Jets, Colts, Texans. I don't know. If the Texans got him, that's pretty scary. Colts, too. They're pretty solid.
Probably, I don't know. Colts been really quiet ever since Peyton retired.
They made the playoffs. They won a playoff game this year.
I know, but still, I mean, it's just not the hype's not there anymore. That's what I'm saying.
They beat the Texans in the afternoon Saturday game. No one watched it. They're like, this is the shittiest playoff game of the weekend.
What? I was probably productive that day. Just was like, I have the opportunity to watch this game, but I think I'm just be productive.
The Colts at the Texans. I don't need to watch that. That's gonna be terrible.
Is this a rerun? Nah,
it's true.
But as far as like, I guess teams that I hope produce and invest in the right picks, it's always going to be the Browns because I'm really tired of them losing.
You'll be glad to know that the second most downloads are from Ohio for this show, so that's music to the Browns fans' ears.
All right, awesome. Hey, I'm rooting for you all. Okay, the Cleveland Browns really disappointed in the Panthers. I don't know what's going on with Cam Newton and his relationship.
It's so weird. Still weird.
Still, they got to get that tightened up. They got to work something out. The Atlanta Falcons, they need to learn how to finish.
Play defense.
Honestly, yeah. They didn't know how to finish. Like, that's ridiculous, all the talent they have on the offensive side. And
Matt Ryan just had a great year.
And they still just coming up short.
Not even close. I think it'll be interesting for the Browns' perspective. Because now, I mean, they have real excitement. The Steelers are falling apart, which...
Literally.
Antonio Brown called Ben Roethlisberger the owner, and the GM's like, yeah, well, he can do that. Antonio Brown's like, what the hell? What do you mean? And I love Baker Mayfield. I mean, he really wants to transform the city, which is awesome. I know the hype around Cleveland is insane.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of great expectations, though. Yeah. It's like... they did have like a winning season, I believe, previously.
They were like 7-9.
7-9.
They're 7-8-1.
Better,
good enough.
Yeah, it's good
basically.
Enough. We could call it a winning season
for the Browns.
But I don't know. I just hope that
I think they'll win the AFC North if they make the right signings.
I call that actually.
We'll call it right now, even though we haven't seen free agency.
No. Yeah. I'm going out on faith right now. Another team that. I don't know, the Vikings, I feel like they're almost there. They said
they want to heavily invest in Kirk Cousins this year, which is a bold strategy.
No, they probably should. I just want them to make it into the playoffs again, honestly.
It was really surprising that they didn't last year, that the Eagles snuck in over them. I mean, it just felt like they had a really talented defensive line and all this stuff, and it didn't really pan out. It was very, very strange. One last team I want to talk about before we transition over to questions is the Oakland Raiders. The Oakland Raiders have 3 first-round picks. They also gave John Gruden a 10-year contract. Yeah. And if we do simple math, 10 minus 1 is 9. John Gruden still has 9 years left on his contract.
It still might not be enough.
Which is insane.
I think it's the coaches, honestly.
John Gruden's terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest. Like that I saw that, I was like, well, what the?
Yeah, I don't.
They also don't know where they're going to play this year because they're about to move to Vegas, but Oakland, the city of Oakland's like, well, have fun.
Hey, come to Orlando. We got Apollo here using our stadium. You might as well just use the NFL team.
The AAF's here.
Yeah, let's do it.
So Oakland has 3 picks, 3 first-round picks that are owned, which is at number 4 overall. The 24th coming from Chicago in the Khalil Mack trade, in which afterwards John Gruden said they need pass rushers, even though they traded Khalil Mack.
Yeah.
And then the 27th pick after they traded Amari Cooper to Dallas in the middle of the season. Oakland, not sure how they feel about Derek Carr, their quarterback. Not really sure where they have talent. I think they could probably use 30 first-round picks.
Honestly. And a new owner who knows.
And a new coach.
And a new coach. Yeah, honestly, we should probably just have them have the first 10.
We should just have them out. We should outsource the Raiders to fans. It's a shame because they have like a lot of real hardcore fans, and it just kind of
honestly,
it's getting dumped on.
The fans for the Oakland Raiders that's a definition of loyalty, right?
It
there.
is.
Like,
it
that's just
is.
a team that just like consistently just not good.
Mm-hmm.
You've already thrown your expectations out the window, and they still just.
Especially with the Chiefs and Chargers now in your division, who are just dominating.
Which is like shout out to them.
Patrick Mahomes and Nano Dad.
Hey.
Phillip Rivers.
I like the Chiefs. I like.
They look good.
I be, like me and my brother. We're a huge fan of like Hill and this little
Tyreek.
Yeah, his little peace sign.
The peace sign. Yeah, I was gonna say I'm doing it, but
yeah. He throws his little peace sign up as he like outruns everyone.
Talk about fast. He's insane.
Yeah. What was his 40 time in the combine?
It had to have been 4.2 or 4.25 or 6.
Gotta be something.
I don't know. We'll get stats department on it. The stats part doesn't exist. I also want to say one last NFL tidbit before we move on. Lions fan, obviously. So Green Bay Packers are proximal rival. I saw something on Twitter. It said how Packers fans get baptized, and a dad threw a slice of cheese and it stuck to the kid's face.
Like, you know, what's
verbal tweet there.
I was definitely sad that I actually thought about, like, I don't know, if I had a kid, I probably would do that.
Why would you throw cheese at your kid?
I would just love the sound effect. Make it my ringtone. You know how bad my ringtone is, but I did change it.
You would have your ringtone be you slapping your kid with cheese.
We gotta cut that out.
No, we're keeping that in. That part is in. Okay, so other things.
Would that not be funny though? Like, you just hear it.
Child services, please turn off the episode.
I changed my mind on that. All right, that's on record right there.
It's fine. It's all right. It's a slip up. You'll be okay. It's all right. Bryce Harper today said he wanted to bring a championship back to DC, even though he signed with Philadelphia. So that's good. Not as bad as that.
Well, yeah.
All right, Demani, we're gonna blend some favorites here. We're also gonna ask you some other questions here. So we're gonna start with, what is your favorite fast food restaurant?
Favorite fast food restaurant, man. So I do like Mark's is what I had today.
Mark's?
Yeah.
What is that?
It's a Jamaican bar and grill.
Jamaican barn. Okay.
It's really good. But fast food, probably Zaxby's.
Never had Zaxby's.
Wingstop.
I've never had that either.
Yeah, you're from up north. I'm gonna get you right though. I'll put you on. What's another one? I think it's Junior's Colombian Burger on East Colonial.
No,
phenomenal burger.
Okay.
Phenomenal. They put chips on their burgers, bro. Like, that's
pretty sweet.
Yeah, it's a move.
There's a hot dog place in the north that lets you put Fruit Loops on a hot dog.
That is disgraceful.
It wasn't that good.
Yeah, what?
You can put anything else on it, but like I as a kid, I was like, let's put Fruit Loops on a hot dog.
Oh man, yeah, nah. What's another thing I like? Obviously, I feel like Chick-fil-A is given. Oh,
I had Chick-fil-A today.
We need to go grocery shopping. My top go-to right now for fast food is Tenders. It's very slept on.
Wait, Tenders? Like,
that's the name of it.
I was going to say.
No, yeah. Hear me out now.
Okay.
It's Tenders. It's right across from Lake Claire in that plaza where it says High and Frozen.
Oh, yeah.
That place is a straight banger. I post snaps of my food all the time whenever I get it.
You also put a picture, what was it? Your Snapchat story one day was the Starbucks, and you put, it calls me daddy. It was the Starbucks.
I mean, you was there when I did that.
I was not there.
You were, I thought.
Nah. I was making fun of you with Sal.
Oh, that was Jose. Yeah, I was studying. You didn't like it?
It's just interesting choice.
I mean, the haters will hate.
I'm not hating. It was just,
And I wasn't. I mean, I think Sal's sister gave me some hate for that.
Maybe just a little.
Maybe just a little bit. I thought it was funny at the time.
It was pretty funny.
I was with Jose. Me and Jose like to bounce ideas off of each other.
Call inanimate objects.
Yeah. That sounds really bad.
What's your favorite animal?
Favorite animal? I like Black Panthers. I don't know why.
Did you like the movie Black Panther?
No correlation. This was all before.
But did you like the movie?
Oh yeah, it was definitely good.
Okay, good.
I liked it. It was pretty good.
Cool.
Did good on Rotten Tomatoes, so it had to be good.
Yeah, of course, right? Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
What is your favorite movie?
I really don't have a specific one. I'm a type of person that goes based off of moods and how I feel. It's always not one specific genre of like movies that I like.
Yeah, I get that.
I mean, there are movies, don't get me wrong, that I could watch on any given day, but like, it just depends on how I feel.
All right, so no answer.
No. I hate to be that kind of person.
What famous person would you most like to meet?
Famous person I would most like to meet.
Yeah.
Just in the sake of just history, Obama, like the first African American president.
It's very important.
Myron Rolle, even though I don't know, he's considered a celebrity to me.
He's was former Florida State safety who became a law student. No, he became an MD.
He's a neurosurgeon at Harvard. So
that's right.
Yeah, those are goals right there. That
pretty
was
sweet.
That was the ideal, but now I have to figure out how I can pay for medical school somehow, some other kind of way, you know.
Scott Frost.
Hey, look, how much is the AAA, like the AAF, whatever?
Oh, the Alliance Football League.
Yeah, how much do they pay?
I
might just walk on out there and try to finesse.
The Apollos are 3-0. That might be tough.
Oh shit! Oops. Cut that out.
All right. Last question. Do you collect anything?
Do I collect anything?
Do you collect anything?
So before, I don't know. Actually, you guys don't. Actually, yeah. I used to collect shoes. I was really big on the Flyknit Air Maxes.
Okay. I have no idea what those are.
Sal does. That's all that matters.
So Sal's listening and he's in his car right now. He's like, yes.
Yeah. Nah, I used to do that, but when I got to college, it was kind of like, I don't know. It was different. Funds were going elsewhere.
Books.
So books and stuff. So I couldn't invest in the shoes, but I don't know. I like shoes. I always have. I always wore Nike. I always wore Polo actually too. As a kid, I got like a lot of pictures actually. Just made some nice Polo tees, but shoes is I would say primarily like what I like to collect.
All right, secret, real last question. Do most football players
Dramatic pause.
major in communications for a specific reason? So
here's the thing. You can only be undecided for so long. So there's some football players that just be like, yo, I know I'm only going to be here for 2 years, and then I'm going to just, declare for the draft or so. Mm-hmm. So, they
major in communication.
Yeah, they put them on a plan, and the plan just so happened to be communication.
It's called the football plan.
Yeah. Honestly speaking, that's the easiest course load. It's feasible. I think the most difficult classes are debate classes that you have to participate in. Some athletes, football players, are socially challenged.
To be fair, I took a speech class. I had to work for my A.
That's same here. It was.
So it's not like.
I mean, it was just the teacher.
I just had to.
It depends on the teachers, but I find it hilarious because a lot of football players who play football in college, they have the worst social skills.
Yeah, you'd think going out and playing in front of 50,000 people.
You ever tried having a conversation with a football Division I athlete? Mm-hmm. Maybe you might meet some athletes that are actually okay, but I should really do a study on that. Why are they so?
Should.
I mean, actually, me and my brother have talked about this, and they're being screamed at, cussed at,
all forms of adversity.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's kind of like yelling at a pet. You know what I mean? In a sense, it's kind of
bring football players to a pet.
No, but in the sense of it's verbally abusive.
Oh yeah,
and they go through that 24/7.
The microscope on social media.
Yeah.
Certainly.
So when you put them out there and they get out in the real world and they have to actually talk to somebody.
Yeah, without getting heckled.
Yeah, exactly. I can see how there's difficulty in that. So maybe coaches should take a different approach.
There you go. Story time. Of course, story time. And we talked a little bit before the show, and I think you have a really interesting story. You talked about Myron Rolle going from football player to neurosurgeon, and although not the exact same, you went from being a D1 football player walk-on here at UCF on the team and everything to now about to apply to med school, and that's a pretty cool transition, and I wanted to give you some space to talk as much or as little about how you came to that whole thing as you want to.
All right. So, I mean, how do I start this? Yeah, March 7th. I'll never forget
You
the
remember
day.
the day?
Yeah.
It's coming up, actually. We're releasing this March 6th. That's kind of freaky.
So, yeah, I blew my knee out. I was trying to... So, here's how it happened. It's this thing called the clearinghouse in Division I sports. So, that's like your initial time to start playing football, like your years of eligibility. And, like, in order for me to, get signed off or get my clearinghouse cleared, I had to, like, participate in, like, the walk-ons tryouts.
Sure, okay.
And that's what Coach Frost was saying, so that's what I went with.
Scott Frost at the time.
Yeah, Scott Frost, yeah. Coach Frost. Shout out to him. But initially, we were running routes, I think a week before March 7th, a week before tryouts, so like the official tryouts, and I was running, like, a post route. And, like, I don't know, something just, like, I ran a post route, and out of my plant, like, out of my cut, like, I just pulled up, and I was like, dang, that can't be good. And, like, that's probably the initial, like, time where I tore my ACL. But I went through the whole week just running on it.
Because you can walk and stuff on it, torn ACL, technically. You can't really mess it up worse.
Well, yeah, eventually that's what happened. That's what the story is leading to. We had March 7th, running 40s, and, like, blew my knee out around.
Fully, right? Just completely.
Yeah. All the trifecta. ACL, LCL, MCL, had 2 reconstructions. It was just a sacrifice. But here's the thing that I always advocate. So I knew even when I did transfer to UCF to play football, like I knew I wanted to, like, obviously give it a shot. Yeah. Try to, get a scholarship, get my education paid for. But I was always willing to invest in my education.
Of course.
Excuse me. Because I've seen... Like, I've looked at my parents and I see how they invested in education and, like, how it's really important, I guess, for my race to invest in education because, like, it's a seed that you plant. So if I graduate with a college degree, I know there's a slim chance that my child would. And, like, I want to keep that in my family.
Yeah, be a role model, of course.
So that's why it was always, my mom and my dad, they always preached to, like, invest in your education, make the sacrifice now so your offsprings don't have to, like, suffer and stuff like that. So that's always, like, a great motivation for me to, like, succeed in my academics. Yeah. Because, like I said, I'm trying to be the first in my family to be a physician.
That's right.
And, like, hopefully down the road there'll be more physicians, in the family tree or whatever. So that's really, like, my overall motive of just, like, trying to pursue this. I always was interested in sports medicine from the start. But like I said, I'm glad that I listened to my parents and invested in my education, that I was able to transition from football to pre-med.
Yeah, because that couldn't have been an easy transition.
No, I mean, it wasn't. But at the same time, like, my journey to get to UCF, to put myself in a position to walk on, to, like, be eligible, see if I met the requirements to transfer to UCF, because that's always a thing. But, like, I did good, finished my AA in a year in mechanical engineering, had over, like, a 3.6 GPA.
Soft flex.
So, like, soft flex. I was able to, like, transfer with no problem. And, like, you always got to, I guess, do what you're supposed to do to put yourself in a situation. So, reach your opportunity, and when you get the opportunity, take advantage of it. But just, I guess, my testimony within my story is just to always invest in your education, something that's, like, permanent, not temporary. Yeah. Because, like, sports is definitely temporary, and it's a sacrifice. And, like, pros and cons, obviously, investing in your education kind of outweighs the sacrifice of you going to workouts, meetings, and playing sports and stuff like that. It's literally, football is a gladiator sport.
Certainly.
So, like, back then, the gladiators is like fight to the death, and technically that's practically what you're doing in the NFL. So it's really kind of scary to think about, but at the same time, it is what it is.
It's what you love.
Yeah, like, we grew up playing football. That's what we love to do. Yeah. So, and then I try to, like, relate my work ethics to, like, I don't know, my academics. I like to compete. I always like to at least have the highest grade or have, the top 5 highest grades for all my peers and stuff like that. So, like, it all helps you, develops you. That's why I love football. That's why I love sports. I love competition. I just love like how it, I guess, relates to real life, how it all just unfolds.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. Awesome. Thank you for sharing all that.
No
I
problem.
know it's not easy to get all that out.
Nah, I've been doing panels these past 2 weeks, so hopefully that's my last time until the next time.
Right, yeah. Well, next time you come on, you won't have to retell.
Yeah,
We'll know.
awesome. Hopefully.
So,
but yeah.
No, you'll be on again. Demani, thank you.
No problem.
For joining
Thank you,
me.
Zach.
Thank you for listening to the Assist Podcast. If you like the show, go drop a 5-star rating. That really helps us keep the show going. If you want to stay updated with all of the podcast episodes, hit the subscribe button, and also go follow our Twitter, which is @assist_podcast, and our Instagram, which is now the Assist Podcast. And you can write any emails, any suggestions you have to theassistpod@yahoo.com, and we'll see you next week.